So the weirdness never stops. Since November last year, a lot of people have been getting this weird feeling as if there's something off. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. Your mom doesn't know what it is. No one knows what it is, but it's as if there's something off. And 2025 literally feels as if we're living in a different dimension or a parallel universe. So then this lady comes along. This is Cassiopeia7. She's been uploading videos since last week and she's been going viral. Everyone's talking about it. Actually, she's freaking a lot of people out with this supposed conversation that she's having with this entity called 7.
Contact 3, that's us, fails 29,149 days after Contact 1. 4,324 days in your future, which is May 27th, 2025.
So this thing is making crazy predictions about something that's about to happen in May 2025. And at first I thought this is ridiculous. This is a LARP or a fake story to grab attention. But the deeper I went into this, the more I found this bizarre connection with this theory that the orbs, the alien orbs that are supposedly coming from the ocean, are actually not coming from the ocean. They're actually leaving Earth for some reason.
The creator of the video that I tagged below said something that is actually terrifying. She said, what if the aliens are not coming? They're leaving.
Then there's this bizarre connection with Aleister Crowley's gray alien entity that he talked to, the alien pods. And this magnetic pole shift that's already happening.
So we live in Florida on the Panhandle, and this is what we're dealing with right now. It has been snowing for 5 hours straight.
This is the wildest thing I think I've ever experienced. Oh my god, so wild.
So this is really wild because it connects a bunch of things that people have never connected before. So let's start with the basic, and let's start with her first video where she explains how this all started. It was uploaded 2 days ago. Fingers crossed it's just a ghost trolling me.
So given the state of the world right now, I feel compelled to share with TikTok something I don't talk about very often, because it makes me sound insane.
I understand.
And I don't know if it's real or not, or what it is. But basically, since 2013, me and my husband have essentially been talking to something on a Ouija board that goes by the name of 7, who has been telling us that the world is going to May 27th, 2025.
Oh my.
And I have pages and pages and pages of our correspondence with this thing. Like pages and pages and pages. And I have it here, raw, just what I've written down, and I have it on Google Docs. It comes out to like 80 some pages.
So she's obviously going to show some of the pages that she has of these conversations. But I was taking a look at the comments and I saw this from Tina. While anyone realized that May 27, 2025 is a palindrome, and also 7 in the middle. So she continues on to explain how they're not witches, they're not experienced in Ouija boards, but they're doing this because it was kind of fun, and the fact that this thing was talking to them in binary codes, Sumerian, and other languages, so they were compelled to continue on talking to this thing. And so she proceeds to show some of the conversations she was taking notes of.
So it does stuff like speak in binary. By speak, I mean, it's giving us ones and zeros to write down on the Ouija board. I'm recording this, and in the moment, we have no idea what this means. We Googled it later. This is, again, July 2013. And it turns out it's binary, but it's backwards binary. So in this way, it meant nothing. But when we reversed the numbers, it meant hello, because it does that a lot. It speaks backwards.
That's not good.
This is where it gets really crazy. So this was, I guess, the day before, because we got kind of addicted. So it speaks also in backwards languages that we don't speak. We don't speak it forwards. We don't speak it backwards. This is, I believe it was Latin. I believe it means salutations or something like that. I have all the details in my Google Doc. But this is kind of the way it speaks. Spooky, weird stuff. This is where it gets really weird. We've learned through all this communication that according to 7, there are 5 groups. We are the third contact. Contact 1 failed 24,825 days ago. So from this date, we did the math, that comes out to August 6th, 1945. That is the date that the first atomic was dropped.
Oh my gosh.
A lot about his
So once again, we have this situation where entities or aliens are telling us humans not to use nuclear stuff. And historically, it has been known that certain sites and experiments and tests have been actually sabotaged by aliens or UFOs. This is not the first time something like this happens. It's as if they're always giving out warnings not to use this kind of stuff. So searching for this topic over here, I found a bunch of videos that may actually suggest that there's something up with this. It's coming from 5285s. Take a look at this. Wow. No blinking lights. November 2024, it's not a coincidence that they're seen over US, UK, and Russia. It's probably related to nuclear phenomena, yeah. This one's from 2009, West Virginia. Not sure if this is a real video though, but it's really similar to what we're seeing right now all over the world. Very similar, very similar. There's also this article over here, and I guess this happened a lot in November and December. And there's also this very interesting that happened back in November. So as you can see in this video, the fighter jet is the white blinking light, and the red one is a drone or an orb.
Oh.
Look at that. That is no airplane, not a drone. That is real quick. We got this guy over here talking about a very interesting story.
In 1967, I was a first lieutenant stationed at Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana. Sometime in the evening hours on March 24th, I received a call from one of my topside guards, the flight security controller, stating that they had been observing an object, a red glowing object hovering just above our front gate. I went to wake my commander, Fred Mywald, who was taking a rest break. Started to tell him about the phone call, and just as I told him, our missile began going into what's called a no-go condition or unlaunchable. Essentially, they were disabled.
So whatever these things are, if they're humans from the future, or if they're aliens from another planet, they do not seem to like certain technology and it being used for nefarious reasons. And as I continued watching this woman's video, I found out that something is going to happen in May 2025 in relation to nuclear technology. But before I show you guys, let's watch the rest of her video.
It goes on to say Contact 2 succeeded 18,534 days ago, which was August, I think that's 17th, 1962. I think that had something to do with JFK and the Bay of Pigs. I'd have to look at my doc, but historically, Contact 3, that's us, fails 29,149 days after Contact 1. 4,324 days in your future, which is May 27th. 25, which it later says.
Wait, just a second here. Let's take a look at these dates. So October 24th, 1962. Okay, I don't think this has anything to do with JFK, possibly. This is, again, something to do with nuclear. Huh. Interesting. So there's a 7 entity. It could just be that it's giving out these warnings. Now let's take a look at May 27th. Oh my. International Conference on Stakeholder Engagement for Nuclear Power Programs. So there's also this one in Abu Dhabi, where it's not exclusively focused on nuclear power, but it's a congress that brings together global leaders to discuss nuclear energy and the developments, challenges, and future strategies in the industry. Okay, so this is really interesting. Let's take a look at what happens next.
And then, here's some like ancient Sumerian thrown in there just for fun. Again, had no idea what we were writing in the moment, but we later looked it up and kind of broke out the letters and realized we'd written down things like, referencing the mountain or mother goddess, reach the mountain in Sumerian.
Gosh, wait a second here. Okay, so this is what it means. It has something to do with the gods, sky, earth, and the mountains. Let's take a look at this. Could it be a warning? Message to reach the mountains. So this is what it said. Yes, it's possible to interpret as a warning or directive to seek mountains. And the possible meanings: the God's message is clear, go to the mountains, heaven and earth warn, seek sacred heights. Oh my gosh, sacred heights. So at this point I'm thinking this is all fake. She's maybe doing it for attention, or this is a LARP. But then she uploads this video over here.
Hi, I'm hopping on here really quick just to explain that my first video was deleted apparently for community guideline violations. I don't know what it really means. Something about sharing like private personal information or something like that. So anyway, I did not delete it. TikTok deleted it. So that's all for now.
Yeah, that's really weird. Why would TikTok delete her video? This is a conversation she's supposedly having with a ghost. What is it that's in that video that can't be uploaded to the internet? It could just be a coincidence, but it's weird, isn't it? So this is her second video that she uploads where this conversation gets really interesting.
So this is one of our earliest conversations with Seven, and pretty much from the beginning it referred to the planets, and it told us the Earths are alive, and that there is a power more than God, but God is good. It also has referred to an experiment of some kind. The experiment must not fail.
What experiment?
If any fail, please do not fail me. Sad Seven, save us, thank you, and then farewell backwards. So it has always been begging us for help in saving it. That's been very clear from the beginning. And again, these are not our questions. These are just...
This is really weird. I mean, like, taking into consideration that many of the events that it talks about have some sort of relation with nuclear events, what is it asking us to save it from? So at this point I'm thinking, is it possible that she's talking to a human being from the future? So I'm taking a look at the comments here, and I come across this one that caught my attention. Maybe Seven is us from the future, like Interstellar. And then it seems that a lot of people agree with this. And I found these interesting comments from Jennifer and this other person talking about the parallel dimension that was found in Antarctica where time runs backwards. These two people are giving out very interesting theories. She says, what if this is someone communicating from that side of the parallel dimension through their own Ouija board? So this sounds ridiculous, I know, but the fact is in 2020 they found this anomaly in Antarctica where these particles run backwards in time and they can't explain it. So I'm thinking, what if there's something beneath that spot that could explain this anomaly?
From the History Channel.
In October of 2020, a sharp-eyed investigator scans satellite images of Antarctica and comes across a site that stops author Brad Olson in his digital tracks.
Really looks like there's something down there. Let's take a look at this other one. This looks like the same spot where they found those alien pods. Yeah, it could be a frozen lake or something like that, but it's still very weird. So here's where things get interesting. While researching about this alien pod in Antarctica, I came across a comment that talked about how Aleister Crowley had contacted a gray alien that constantly talked about an egg and how it had all the secrets of the universe inside it. This is weird, isn't it?
Aleister Crowley, a very famous occultist who practiced ritual magic, he conducted a ritual that's called the Amalantra working, and he made contact with an alien named Lamb. This alien entity that he drew out was the first gray alien that was ever depicted. This magic ritual, it goes all the way back to the Book of Enoch. There were these fallen angels, they called the Watchers, and the Watchers came and they taught man how to use magic, and these entities taught them the Enochian language. Crowley said, okay, well, let's talk to these entities using that Enochian language, and he did that many times. For decades and decades, the government had this internal Pentagon group that said, hey, all this alien activity could be demonic in some way. Pump the brakes on trying to summon these things because there could be some unintended consequences.
So this is all very weird. Is it true that Aleister Crowley saw a gray alien, and is it true that this alien talked to Crowley about an egg that held all of the secrets of the cosmos, possibly this alien pod that was found in Antarctica? So this is what I found after researching about it. So supposedly who talked about this egg and how all of the secret was inside of it was this other wizard over here, not Crowley. also in this other post, I found out that Crowley never physically saw the alien. He depicted it, which for me is enough to prove that he saw something that no one had ever seen before. He's probably the first person to depict such a thing. So there's that about this Aleister Crowley mystery and the alien pods in Antarctica. It could just be that this is some sort of narrative that was spread throughout the internet with the intention of discrediting some of it or just deviating the topic to somewhere else. So I was looking for something that could maybe explain all of these anomalies, such as the Antarctica anomaly, the orbs that we're seeing all over the world, this conversation, this strange conversation that she's having with this entity, and why would we have to go to run to the mountains? So I found this over here.
Earth's magnetic poles flip about every 300,000 years, but it's been about 780,000 years since the last time it happened. And it's possible that Earth's magnetic poles will flip again soon, especially because over the last 200 years, Earth's magnetic field has weakened by about 9%.
So she goes on to explain how this magnetic pole shift will not cause a cataclysm and will take a long time to actually happen. But then there's this other view that some people believe it actually will cause something.
If what we're seeing right now with the poles shifting is true, scientists starting to talk about how North Pole has shifted somewhere over Russia, moving towards Siberia. Let's say this continues and we have 3 miles of ice melting, making the water in the entire world go up 40 meters, which is 120 feet. We're going to be losing some of our shores across the world. Manhattan's gone. But what would happen is, while this is going on, we would be seeing on Antarctica a reveal of a very ancient past. It would reveal to us many, many things that we're not even aware of down there, potentially.
So I'm not sure if I agree entirely with this, but it goes in line with certain theories that a cataclysm occurs from time to time. And it also goes in line with this map from Urbano Monte from the 1500s of what's supposed to be Antarctica unfrozen. And as you can see here, this is an unfrozen continent. This is Antarctica. And it's really weird because if you zoom in, you'll see a bunch of creatures, huge, gigantic creatures in Antarctica. And as you can see, it's an unfrozen continent. It's really weird. Why would a map depict Antarctica like this 500 years ago? So either this is just a big mistake and people interpreted the map wrong, or there's something about our history that we don't know. And then we got videos like this one from Scarface the Indian 7 that was posted 5 days ago that shows this massive pyramid that was found in Logan County, West Virginia. Check this out.
Working on pyramids and living in my convo. Floor model TV with the VCR.
Look at that, it's huge. Looks like 3 pyramids actually.
My bills pay, that keep my bills paid.
I bet you ain't a single black person live down there. Guarantee you.
If that's not a construction that was built to avoid rock slides, I don't know what that is. Even though that's not the first time someone spots a pyramid where it's not supposed to exist. And this pole shift, this magnetic pole shift, could also help explain the snow that we had in Florida just a couple of weeks ago. I guess this is something that has never happened before, not like this.
So we live in Florida on the Panhandle, and this is what we're dealing with right now. It has been snowing for 5 hours straight. It is still snowing. Look at how much snow we have. This is literally insane. We are making history. This has never happened ever. We are in Florida, and look at how much snow. It's a blizzard.
That's not actually a blizzard, but it is really strange. Let me check. Last time something like this happened was in January 77 and December 89. Okay, so it was light. Okay, 2 inches, 1 inch, Nah, this one was like 7 to 8 inches, I guess. Look at this.
This is it. New measurement for Pensacola, Florida. Let's see what we got here. 7 inches of snow.
Oh my.
New record. Previous record 3 inches, which was decades ago, 100 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
It's still snowing. Blizzard.
It's still snowing. Yeah. So this comment says, you got more snow than me. I live in Canada. So there's something definitely off. And this is what I've been talking about since the beginning of this video. And this conversation that this woman is having with this entity called Seven is really bizarre, taking into consideration everything that's going on right now. So what do you think? Leave a comment, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button with the notifications on, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.